Hi, my name is Megan Garvey. I'm a rising senior at West Virginia University. I'm currently 21 years old. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm currently located in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, which is in southwestern Pennsylvania, on site for a job that I will be working this summer. Industrial engineering is kind of where business and engineering come and meet together. It's more of a people-based application of engineering and really looks at more efficiency. How can we make things work better? How can we make these jobs easier? So that application can be used in so many different fields with so many different businesses. Like I said, I'm currently a rising senior, and kind of how I got into engineering is I grew up a Girl Scout, and I was in Girl Scouts from Brownies until I graduated high school, and now I'm currently a lifetime member of Girl Scouts of the United States of America. And so Girl Scouts gave me a lot of opportunities to be exposed to things like women in engineering. So when I was in the 4th grade, I went to the NASA Glenn Research Center, and I got to meet a bunch of young female professionals, and I was instantly hooked. I could not wait to get involved and actually work on things, make things move, build things, and really just help people get to new places. So I've always had a soft spot for space. When I started my undergrad at WVU, I actually was in a mechanical and aerospace engineering major, and I loved it for the time. I met so many great people, but it wasn't really a perfect fit. So when I started looking into other options, I found industrial engineering, which is something that isn't typically talked about as engineering. When you think of an engineer, you think of a designer or somebody who's building something kind of all the time, and the people aspect isn't something you typically think of. You kind of usually think of people working in small groups or someone working at a desk and like designing something from scratch, and that really wasn't what I was looking to do as an engineer. I wanted to work with people, and that kind of really came from my very first internship experience. I had the opportunity to work with GE Aviation the summer after my freshman year of college, after interviewing with them at a career fair in the fall of my freshman year. Yes, I said fall. You have so many opportunities to have that career development stuff super early on. So it was so cool to have that opportunity. So I worked with them for a whole summer in Dayton, Ohio, and I fell in love with manufacturing. Every day is different. It's so fast paced. I love that I get to work with people every single day and really make a difference. A lot of times the projects that I'm working on have a direct impact on the ability for people to do their jobs, the products we get out the door, the money we make as businesses. And that was always really cool to see. That I got to see from start to end what I was doing was making a difference. In addition to that internship, I had the opportunity to work with GE Aviation for actually 2 summers. This summer, I'm actually working for JLG, which is a construction equipment company. They make boom lifts, commercial boom lifts, and telehandlers. So basically a super cool forklift that kind of has the ability to not just like lift stuff directly up and down, but kind of move it at an angle. And the boom lift is very similar to like a cherry picker. I highly suggest you look them up. They're super duper cool. JLG makes ones that are from like 30 feet to 185 feet in the air. I had the opportunity to go up in one. It was super cool. And so, yeah, we work with customers all over the world internationally, and we are a subsidiary of the larger company Oshkosh. So like I said, my day-to-day looks different every single day. I never really know what's going to be going on during the day. I usually try to come in with a plan, but it doesn't usually work out like that. But I'll do anything from creating fixtures with 3D CAD software to time studies, so where I'm basically timing how fast operators are able to do certain tasks to really see where there's room for improvement, or in final assembly, which is where the facility that I'm at, that's what they do. In final assembly, how long is each step of the process taking, so we can try to make them as even as possible. So really distributing the work in a really efficient way. That's a lot of what I've been doing. Layout changes. I work in a very large manufacturing plant, and so the layout is changing all the time because we're always trying to improve. So one of my big projects this summer has been really digging into one of our newer areas. We're integrating some automation, which is super cool. It's something that I've never really had experience with. And so with that, we have to make a lot of changes to our line because we have a lot less steps to do on the line. So we have to take away things that are unnecessary because you don't want to clutter up the line. My favorite subject in school was always math and science. And I know that sounds super typical, but it was. I love math. I love that it always makes sense, and it sounds cheesy, but I love that the math is the same in every language. It's a universal language. And I always thought it was really cool to really dig into how things tick, why things do what they do, why things work the way they do, and that kind of application stuff, and astronomy. I was able to take an astronomy class in high school, and that really even furthered my love for space and space exploration. I became an engineer because I love people. I love people and I love solving problems. And so engineering was a really natural kind of follow through of both of those. At the core of what I want to do with my career post undergrad is I want to help people do their jobs better. I think that a lot of times people don't really feel heard or seen, and I want to try to do better and be someone who that is reliable to them and they can listen to them and really take their opinions seriously, because I feel like a lot of times engineers can overlook people working on the manufacturing line, people doing the job on the construction site, and things like that. And I really want to do better in that way as an engineer. The best part of my job is definitely the people. Like I said, at the facility that I work at, I get to work with operators every day, people who are working long hours, they're doing manual labor, and they work hard at what they do, and they are experts in it. They are some of the most intellectual people I've ever met. How their brains work, I probably will never understand because it's just not how mine work. They're so smart, they're so good with their hands, they can fix anything. They solve problems on the spot every single day, and they just have such a dexterity for problems and the products that they're making. They really know their products well. And so it's been such a cool experience to be able to learn from those people and really dig into the knowledge that they've gained over their many, many, many years of working at the company. So like I said, I was a mechanical and aerospace engineering major for the first 2.5 years, actually, of my undergrad, which I think if I could do it again, I think I would honestly do the same thing because I feel I got a really great foundation in technical courses. I was able to take a lot more technical based courses that a lot of IEs really wouldn't get the chance to take otherwise. So I think it gives me a really cool perspective on problems, and I feel honestly more prepared, I think, than some other people possibly to kind of face those problems, especially when you're building things and manufacturing things, and even like design. It can be really hard to look past the problem and understand why the thing is doing what it is. Why is that pin there? Why does this need to be specific weight or specific length? What things do we need to consider when we're making changes, like temperature? What kind of conditions is it going to be in? I feel like that technical background of mechanical and aerospace really will be able to set me apart when I go on for a career. And now I'm in industrial engineering, and I'll be in industrial engineering for about 2 years. So I will graduate in 4.5 years. I've loved it so far. It's been such a unique perspective and such a change from mechanical and aerospace. Mechanical and aerospace is very intense. It's tough, but the people in my major really made it worth it. We worked hard together, we studied hard, and we played hard too. It was really cool to see them inside and outside the classroom and grow some really great friends. IE is in many ways very different because it's a lot of times less quote unquote technical than mechanical and aerospace. It's a lot of people skills and kind of more semantic things, but things that are increasingly important to businesses, invaluable even. Businesses can't work without logistics and supply chain, and that's where IEs can partner with businesses really well to help them make them as efficient as possible. A lot of IEs will get their master's in industrial engineering or even get their MBA. And as of now, I'm not completely sure what I want to do, but I think I'm going to try to get my MBA because I think it would really be an added benefit to really understand how businesses work at their true core. I think that engineering is this really unique field of study. There's so many things that you can do with an engineering degree. It is actually crazy how much you can do with it. You can go into almost any field, any job, any business that you can think of can connect to an engineer. Retail, grocery stores, construction, medicine, food, all of it at its core will need an engineer. So find what you're passionate about, and I'm pretty sure if you are looking to solve problems and to help people, that engineering would be a really, really good fit.